This might just be the best Pixel you can buy right now if what you care about is value for money, software support, and getting a wide array of high-end Pro Pixel features. So strap in and let's talk about that. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas and this is the Pixel 8 Pro, and it can be yours for less than the cost of a Pixel 9 in some cases, and refurbished less than an MSRP Pixel 8a. Yeah, there are some seriously fantastic deals to be had on this device, and that's what makes it such a steal at the moment. The Pixel I recommend to anyone who asks. And the first thing we have to talk about here is the camera system, because it, hardware-wise, is nigh on identical to the most expensive candy bar style Pixel you can buy right now, the 9 Pro XL. The fundamental differences are really that the older phone has a lesser ultra-wide and selfie camera, and that it doesn't shoot 8K at all, which the 9 Pro XL can do with its version of Video Boost. But the 8 Pro still captures some fantastic UHD 4K 60p video. I actually ran a test side by side with the best video phones out earlier this year, and actually in auto mode, the Pixel 8 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max were way closer than a lot of these influencers would have you believe. The camera setup is still one of the most capable on the market, with a terrific auto point and shoot experience that takes all the guesswork out of taking great smartphone photos. It's not perfect, and the main areas it struggles in are sort of low light, and the portrait mode cutout can be a little hit and miss, but the 8 Pro's camera is still one of the most reliable camera packages right now. And when you consider that a refurbished one of these might set you back under $500, that might make it the best camera for the money that you can buy right now. But let me know in the comments what you think of these images. People clearly care about their smartphone's camera, and if that's you, it's hard to deny the Pixel 8 Pro's quality here, even over a year after its initial launch, and it's one of the main reasons that I recommend this phone. Not only that, but you still get access to the great AI tools in Google Photos like Top Shot, object removal, and so on, but also Pixel exclusives like Audio Eraser for removing background noise in video, which if you're big into cameras might mean quite a lot to you. Sadly, Google opted to leave out AdMe and Pixel Studio with the Pixel 8 Pro, even though it's running Android 15, but I guess they want you to upgrade to the newer model and they have to find some exclusives for that phone. But Gemini runs on here just fine. In fact, when you replace Google Assistant with it, it just becomes the hub of your phone. If you cough up the money for the advanced version, you can get some pretty solid answers and explanations from it. And as I've said, every time I mention AI, I feel like I have to prerequisite. It isn't ideal for critical information, and when asking it important questions, I'd always go and just double check the answer myself, as you don't want to get that sort of stuff wrong, and it has history for doing that kind of thing. But it's one of those flagship features that you don't actually have to upgrade to the latest model for, as it works right here on the 8 Pro just fine. And despite the newer Pixels having some fantastic, dare I say class-leading displays, that doesn't take away from just how good the Pixel 8 Pro's panel has been and still is. It benefited from every phone maker cranking the brightness up to 11, so still gets really bright outside, and indoors it gets super bright too. The 120Hz OLED is still tremendous, and it's great to use. It's big, it's super bright, it's sharp, it's smooth. I'm running out of superlatives here. I think Google did a great job with the tuning of this display, and so you get vibrant, punchy colors, which are great for watching films, playing games, and it's a flat panel, so you don't have to worry about the annoying curves that everyone hates these days. Again, one of the big reasons to buy one of these is just such a beautiful screen. I mentioned playing games there. Performance is one of the areas where a lot of people, myself included, were a little concerned due to the Tensor G3 being a little underwhelming off rip, let alone a year down the line. But to be honest, as long as you're not a sweaty mobile esports player or buying a phone to abuse it like a workhorse, this isn't a bad experience. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. It all holds up well, though the latter being UFS 3.1 instead of UFS 4 can result in load times feeling a little sluggish if you're used to the latest and greatest, but I feel like if you have one of those phones, why are you going back to this? And actually, in a vacuum, this is quick enough. But nothing that should really concern people. I think for most, this is enough performance, and thanks to the 2031 software support, it shouldn't run into any kind of incompatibility issues for even the next 5 or 6 years. Is it going to get smoked by the equivalent Snapdragon powered phone? Yeah, of course, the S23 Ultra, which is also a bargain, will and does outperform this on a regular basis. But you don't get any of the googly Pixel specific features that this phone has, and you miss out on the design that I think has aged really nicely and balances being unique with a practical sort of approach very well. Battery life seems to have stayed relatively the same as when the phone came out for me, so it's an all-day phone for all but the most extreme of users. You can get a day and a half out of it. And you know what? For the price, I think in this market, it's absolutely fine, and it's all you can really ask for a phone like this. Sure, the 30-watt charging just isn't very fast, and it's definitely not the most advanced in the world, but it's more than good enough for those who just top up their phone overnight, which is most people. And it even has 27-watt wireless charging if you're into that too. I'm more of a traditional wire kind of guy, so the 30 watts is a little slow for me, but for most people this is going to be absolutely fine. And again, for under $500, very reasonable. I haven't been met by any kind of connectivity issues in my time with the 8 Pro, and that's LTE, 5G here in the UK, though your mileage may vary depending on your carrier, and likewise, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections have been rock solid for me too. There are certainly downsides to the older model, like for example, people seem to really like flat-sided phones. I don't know who you are, but yeah, I disagree with you wholeheartedly, and this doesn't have those. Also, I'm more of a power button below the volume rocker kind of person, so Google's way of doing it is a little weird and feels a bit unnatural, but that's a preference thing. The optical in-display fingerprint scanner has been completely outshone by the new ultrasonic units in the new phones, and my experience with the under-display one on the Pixel 8 Pro it's not amazing. And you know what? It is also kind of annoying that you have to buy the huge model to get all of the big features, especially that periscope telephoto lens, something that they did fix with the new model, but then you have to cough up some serious cash for that, so kind of defeats the purpose. Some people just don't want a huge phone, and that's totally fine. I think the Pixel 8 is also a fantastic option, but it doesn't have all the bits and pieces that make the 8 Pro such a good phone. The Pixel 8 Pro might not have the shiny new design or the latest AI features designed to entice you to buy the newest model, but it still does represent an incredibly complete package of hardware and software, comes in some beautiful colours with a pleasing design, and will continue to be supported for years to come. For less than the price of a base model Pixel 9 new, or less than an 8A when you buy the 8 Pro used or refurbished, this is one heck of a deal and is my instant recommendation right now. Pixel 8 Pro users out there, I want to hear from you. What has your experience been like, especially upgrading to Android 15? Several of my friends hopped on the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro deals when they were flying around here in the UK. And fun fact, I know more people with an 8 series device than I know anyone who uses an iPhone, which probably sounds pretty crazy to the US audience, but there you go. While you're down there in the comments, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's content and subscribe to never miss another upload. I'm Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.